CIT1123 instructional video packet tracer 271. This is the last packet tracer in this section. There is a lot of stuff in here, and it's a really good lab. It does pass through pretty much everything you did in the other labs. So if you did all the other labs, you should be okay remembering what to do in this one. There are some scoring points that if you do things that will work, you can get full connectivity, but you won't score all the points. So let's kind of go through those. First off, the process ID is 10 for all the devices. And first step says activate OSPF using network statements and inverse mask on the routers in the headquarters network. So headquarters is over here on the left. So P2P1, P2P2, P2P3. We're going to set these with the traditional way of setting up OSPF. So I'm just going to pull this over to the side and get started on this. Config T, we'll do router OSPF 10, and then network statements for each one of the networks. This one's connected to 3 networks, so 10.0.0.0, 0.0.0.3, area 0, network 10.0.0.8, 0.0.0.3, area 0, network 10.0.0.12, 0.0.0.3, area 0, check. Okay, that one is done for what they're looking for there. Let's go ahead and close out that. Let's look at P2P. This one's got 4 networks. We're going to do this one the same exact way. Router OSPF 10, network 10.0.0.0, 0.0.0.3, area 0, network 10.0.0.4, 0.0.0.3, area 0. That's 2 of them. Network 192.168.1.0.0.255, area 0. And network 192.168.2.0.0.255, area 0. And check. Okay, looking pretty good on that one. So let's go ahead and get out of that. And let's take a look at P2P3. P2P3 is connected to, whoa, hey, I lost it. 4 networks. Let's try that again. Here we go. And let's go ahead and add those in with the wildcard mask also. This one has a little bit of a change. This one's a /28, so we'll use a /28 mask. Everything else has been 30s or 24s, which has been pretty traditional. I don't think in any of the other labs they ask you to do a /28, but you do have to do one here. So we'll walk you through that. That'll be the third one that we add. So config T, router OSPF 10, network 10.0.0.4, area 0, network 10.0.0.8. That one's good too. And then, okay, so here's the LAN here on this one. So this one's going to be network 192.168.3.0 whack. /28, if we convert a /28 into a subnet mask, it's going to give us 255, 255, 255, 240. And if we inverse that, that's going to give us 00015, right? 15 is what's left of those. So if you just reverse those, you know, my trick is always /28 means 28 ones, and then there's 5 zeros left, right? So when we do a wildcard mask, we would just add those 5, was 5 zeros become 5 ones, and then that's the value that you type in. So 5 ones is 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8, which is 15. And that's to me, that's the fastest way to get to the answer when we do a wildcard mask. And hopefully we score a point on that one. And I think we're good to go on those. So the 3 P2P routers have the networks created. Let's look at the second bullet point, activate OSPF by configuring the interface on the network device in the data services network where required. Okay, so we could do exactly what we just did over here on these BC routers, but we're not going to score any points. So let's not do that. So let's go to BC1 and let's go ahead and set it up the way that they want us to set it up, which is the method that we can use if we can't figure out how to use wildcard mass, which is a short-lived time because you're going to have to do access lists next week in class. They want you just to go into the interfaces and then just set them up as OSPF from the interface. So here's S1 or BC1. Here's the interfaces. I'm going to pull this right up next to this. Here's the interfaces that we're using here, and we'll go ahead and set it up on all of them. The one that's over on the far right-hand side, the one that's connected to the ISP cloud, serial 011, you know, if it was me, I wouldn't set it up. I think we score points on it, though. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. So we're going to do INT S0/1/0, and we're going to do IP OSPF 10 area 0. And that's a way that we can set that up. And INT S0/1/1. And we'll do the same thing, IP OSPF 10 area 0. Oh, good. We don't have to set that one up on that one. And that's fine. I wouldn't, if it was me, I wouldn't. The packet traces have been a little inconsistent on what to do on that. So no big deal. INTG 0/0/0. And we'll go IP OSPF 10 area 0 on that. And that one's done. So that's good. Let's take a look at BC2. We'll do the same thing. Close that one out. Go to BC2. BC2's interface is G000, G001. All right, so we'll do it the same way. EN config T. Nope, not router. INTG 0/0/0. IP OSPF 10 area 0. And INTG 0/0/1. IP OSPF 10 area 0. That one's done. Good. And let's go to BC3. BC3 interface is G000, G001. So 0/0/0. IP OSPF 10 area 0. And INTG 0/0/1. IP OSPF 10 area 0. And that one's done. Okay, cool. All right, we're looking pretty good. Bullet points 1 and 2 completed, I'm pretty sure. And next thing they want us to do is go back into the BCs and set up router IDs. Man, it would have been cool to do that before, don't you think? But whatever. So let's go ahead and set those up now. So BC1 is going to be 6.6.6.6. This is done. It's router config mode. So router OSPF 10. And router ID, so that's ROU, router ID 6.6.6.6. Remember, the router ID is just a label. I know it's set as an IP address, but it is just a label. It's a unique value for that particular device. And it does not have to be an IP address that is on the on an interface anywhere. And that doesn't have to be on a loopback. It doesn't have to be on a physical interface. It can just be any address you want if you choose to do it that way. So that's what they chose to do this time, and there's nothing wrong with that. So router ID, this is 2, so this is 5.5.5.5. And one of the other things you need to do, with the router IDs is hard coding the router IDs. Previously was, it's like, we use loopback addresses for a long, long time. And then when IPv6 came around, they're still using IPv4 addresses as router IDs in the IPv6 OSPF process. Ugh, that seems like a bad idea, right? But that is how it works. So you had to start hard when you're going to do IPv6, use OSPF with IPv6. You had to put in a router ID value. So you just got in the habit of doing them, and I think that's what they're doing now. So they're getting in the habit of just putting some router IDs onto the systems. Anyway, bullet point 3 is done. So let's look at bullet point 4. Bullet point 4 says configure OSPF so that routing updates are not sent into the networks where they are not required. So the networks where they are not required would be the internet connection on BC1 would be the LAN interfaces on the lower tier routers here. So let's start with BC1 and let's create a passive interface for that serial 011 first. So we're still in router config. So we'll do passive interface, and that is the serial 011. And that one's passive, so we've set that as passive now. So no hellos over to the internet, which is exactly what we're looking for. I'm just going to go, kind of the reverse order. We'll go BC3. In BC3, it's the G0/0/0. So passive interface G0/0/0. And that's done. And in BC2, it's the same thing. It's G0/0/0. Passive interface G0/0/0. Good. And let's go over to the headquarters side, and we'll do the same thing on P2P3. Also G0/0/0. Passive G0/0/0. And on P2P, it's G000G001. Okay. And this one I got to go back into router config. Passive interface G0/0/0 and passive interface G0/0/1. Cool. Okay. Good. All right. That's done. So let's where we're at here. Configure OSPF routing updates and not set up the networks and network. Great. Did that. All right. Next bullet point. Configure router BC1 with the highest OSPF interface priority so that it will always be the designated router in a multi-access network. Okay. So BC1 back up here. The interface that we want to set the priority on is G0/0/0. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to exit out of this. Let's go into the interface ITG 0/0/0 IP OSPF. Oops, IP OSPF question mark. Let's see if what we're looking for is there. Hey, look, there's priority. That's what we're looking for. The very last item is priority. And it says you want to set the priority to the highest OSP, the highest priority. So let's look at the range. Would be the easiest way to do that. And the range is 0 to 255, highest wins. So let's set it to 255, and that gets us 4 points. So that wasn't too bad. While we're here, so we just finished this bullet point. The next one says configure default route to the ISP using the exit interface, and then automatically distribute that to the other devices. All right, so we've done that in another lab. This is pretty easy. So exit and IP route 0 to 0 to, quad zeros, and then the exit interface there, I think that's serial 001. No, serial 011. So S0/1/1 static route created. Just for fun, do an exit and do show IP route. Whenever I create a static route, I do have a condition where I have to type in show IP route right after that, and otherwise I got to see that it's there. And it's there. It's there. Good. So now let's distribute that through OSPF to all of the other routers. This will be really a lot more powerful than what we've done before, because suddenly the static default route that's not on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 routers is suddenly going to appear on 5 routers. So right now, no static defaults. Here, we'll just check P2P here just for fun. So do show IP route. And you can see there is no OE2 default static created. And we're going to make that happen right now. So config T router OSPF 10. And gosh, how do I make default information originate? Default information originate. So DE tab space O tab, and you've got it, and it's done. And you're now redistributing that static route. Let's check P2P now. Let's see if it got there yet. Nope, not yet. Let's see now. Hey, there it is. That didn't take long at all. Look at that. There's your default static route. Cool. So that's done. That's good. All right. So automatically distribute the static route to other routers. Configure OSPF routers so that the gig Ethernet interface cost will be 10 and the fast Ethernet cost will be 100. So this is auto cost bandwidth, and we're going to have to run this across. When we change the bandwidth value, this is something you're going to want to do on every single one of your routers. So let's go ahead and back to BC1. We're still in router config here, and that's where we're going to set this. So if we just did a quick question mark, we see that auto cost is one of the options that's available here. There's auto dash cost. So let's start with that. So it's auto cost question mark, and there's only reference bandwidth after this. So R tab, and now we got to change it so that gig is 10. 10 gig would be 1, and fast Ethernet would be 100. Okay, that's not so bad. So we're going to change it to 1,000, and that should do it for us. And that worked. So let's do that now on every other router. So we'll do that here. We will do that here. We will do that here. We will do that here. And we'll do that here. We'll do it on all of them. Oh, this one's not set up. And we got to do all the work on this one. Cool. Okay, that's finished. So auto cost reference bandwidth set on all of our routers. That's done. We got a couple bullet points left. Configure OSPF cost of P2P1 interface serial 00 to 50. Okay, so, I was on P2P1. Let me just leave that open. Configure the OSPF cost value of P2P interface serial 011 to 50. Okay, so let's change that cost value to 50 on this device. So let me scroll up just a little bit. P2P1 is here. Serial, which one are we doing here? Serial 011. Serial 011 is 10 to 0009, which is actually this one here. So no big deal. Okay, so let's change that cost value on that interface. So let's exit out of this. Let's go in the INTS0/1/1, I believe is where we were going there. And we're going to change the cost. So it's OSPF question mark is where I always like to go. Hey, look, cost is setting there. So we'll just change the cost to 50 for this interface. And that should do that. And that's done. And the next thing it says is configure the hello and dead timer values on the interface that connects P2P1 and BC1 to twice the default values. Oh boy. Okay, so that interface is serial 010. So let's look at that one. So we'll go INTS010 and IP OSPF question mark, and you'll see hello time, hello. And the default is 10, so twice the default is 20. And I did not score any points there. What did I do wrong there? Serial 010. I thought that's what it said. Hello to 20, right? Twice the default. I thought I did that right. Well, let's see what happens on the dead timer. OSPF dead interval. Dead interval is 40. Let's change that to 80. And no points on that one either. Okay. Take a quick look here. Oh, it's serial 020. Whoops. That's not cool. Okay, so that's why that didn't work. So let's just let's go backwards on that, and we'll do a no here because this is going to take down another interface. and we'll go back up to this one, to the hellos, and we'll do a no there. And let's put this in the correct interface. So that's serial 020, so INT S0 to 0. And we'll do IP OSPF hello and 20. There we go. Now we're scoring points. And we'll do the dead interval at 80, and we get points. Should get points for that one too. And now we'll head over to the. Whoops, that's a no. Just like that. And that one's done. And let's go over to the other side because this link is going to break off because our hello and dead times are incorrect. Let's get the right interface straight away. So it looks like serial 010 is what we want there. OSPF question mark hello interval, changing that to 20. Yep, looks like we got the right one this time. And then IP OSPF dead interval, the default is 40, so we'll change it to 80. And there we are. Okay, this was a long lab compared to some of the other ones, but it was a good one. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in module 3.